together a little bit more on what's the recent happenings in Bordeaux, in the vineyard, in the cellar, in the Place de Bordeaux, the marketplace. What are the current changes that has been happening in terms of also regulation, AOC and its classifications. Of course, a slight focus on the white wines of Bordeaux. As we are seeing, there's also a current trend of a lot of producers in traditional sweet wine making appellations of Sauternes and Barsac going into dry white wines. All right, and why is this? Why is the trend becoming so popular, so burgeoning of late? And of course, a bit on the evolution, and of course, what's trending in terms of sales and marketing, and of course, the ever evolving and booming tourism aspect of Bordeaux wines today. All right, so from past into the future. All right, so Bordeaux has always been a reference point, or an integral part of the wine world. A lot of wine regions has always looked to Bordeaux, all right, for inspiration, for technical reference, and of course also for inspiration in terms of branding, marketing, all right, of their wines. And of course, Bordeaux has not only been innovative today, it has been always leading the way since hundreds of years ago. All right, so as you can see, it pretty much defined what wine was, or fine wine was, as early in the 17th century, right, giving birth to the French claret. Right, and of course, one of the earliest, input, of course, what made Bordeaux so innovative or so upfront at the time was, of course, the influence of the Dutch, which also plays an important role till today. Right, as we all know, if you look at history of the left bank, especially in the Medoc, all right, it used to be a marshland. All right, and it's only that when the Dutch came in and they introduced drainage systems and canals in the area that most of the area of the Medoc became what we call land that could be grown for the production of wines. And of course, Bordeaux is also the home of the world's most illustrious grape varietals, as we are all very well aware: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Sauvignon, Semillon, and the rest, right? Which has always, which is today the world's most illustrious international grown varieties, and they always look back to Bordeaux for clones, and of course, latest, viticultural and vinification techniques of making as good a quality wine from its respective varietals. And of course, today, arguably, Bordeaux is also the largest vineyard in the world, all right, the wines for these illustrious grapes. And of course, one of the most famous contribution, all right, of Bordeaux to viticulture is, of course, the Bordeaux mixture, all right. Of course, after phylloxera, there is powdery mildew and oidium, and of course, the agricultural and of course the enology bodies and professionals within the region came up with, of course, the Bordeaux mixture, right, which is a blend of copper sulfate and lime solution, all right, to combat oidium or powdery mildew. And of course, stainless steel vats, all right, were also being first used, so to speak, all right, widely in the region of Bordeaux. All right, of course, we were being shared during our recent educator conference in Bordeaux just a couple of weeks ago. All right, so the first illustrious chateau that widely employed stainless steel vats in terms of fermentation and winemaking was Chateau Aubryon. All right, it was met with a lot of criticism. All right, of course, at that time, where most of the vignerons were still making wines in traditional oak vats. All right, so they say, we are not making milk, we are making wine. All right, so there's one of the interesting comments that echoes still today. All right, with the introduction of stainless steel vats in contrast to cements and oak tanks or oak vats. But of course, as we all know, one of the trends that we'll see in the following slides is today Bordeaux has also returned to to using oak vats, and of course, more importantly, cement tanks, or of a certain conical or egg shape, or which is trending also a lot. So once again, a circle, all right, when they get to understand the nuances and what all these different materials bring, all right, to the vinification process in general. All right, so just to recap, all right, Bordeaux being also already a powerhouse of innovation, not only today, but of course since its early days, redefining or defining what fine wine is, okay, via the notion of French Claret being the home of international renowned varietals that is widely planted in every nook and cranny of major wine regions of the world. Of course, one of the key contributions to vinification or viticulture, beg your pardon, is the Bordeaux mixture. All right, again, so oidium, last but not least, the usage of stainless steel vats and better temperature control during fermentation and winemaking process.